for us, the product design was always the closest industry to the product management. So I personally was a designer, so my product management background started with a design thinking skill that I received when I've been working user experience designer, and our team also has a great user experience background. But overall, like right now, there is an ongoing trend that a lot of product managers, they are sharing responsibilities between product designers and the rest of the product team. So sometimes the prototyping phase even done without the designer, but let's assume that we're building the product, we're building the prototype. Who defines the user flow? If the product manager now is capable on building prototypes, right? So if the product manager do that, they should also take some responsibilities from designer, because it's the way how now the prototype builds. So almost everyone can build a prototype. We recently introduced the product design map. It's available in our Discord, so you can try it. There is a specific channel. It's called Product Design Map. It's there. It's free to use as the product management map, but it contains very similar skills that we put under the hood of this map. We usually split it by 5 categories. So in case of product designers, it's product, experience, visuals, analytics, and people. Very close to the product management, but we'll make the comparison a bit later. And here we've got 15 product design skills, which are mapped on this radar. So I'll explain you more what's inside. So let's assume that we are very very experienced product designers. So what we usually do, we contribute to the product, and there are 3 skills: business impact, market and industry insight, and design thinking. So these 3 skills are very fundamental in terms of product thinking, right? So we contribute to the business and its success. We analyze the market and how our product will live there. And the design thinking is also a very important approach for problem solving, because it puts the user on the first let's say as a first priority, and after that we as designers, we suggest some ideas and solutions. So experience how it's called, pillar here, right? So the experience pillar is also very important, because that's actually where designers spend the most of their time. So interface design, interaction design, usability, and human factors, they actually form this final user experience, and that's where we usually spend a lot of time as designers. But at the same time, that's the final experience that the customer feels. It's also linked with the product, but at the same time, it's more about the logic of the interface. It's not only interfaces, it could be even the other types of products, not only digital. So visuals are also very important. So obviously we here a little bit biased because we're discussing tech or digital products, but it could be also applicable for other types of design. So here we split by 3 categories. So the first one is branding and graphic design. The second one is content design and motion design. So a lot of things with the rise of Gen AI are becoming animated. So now everything is moving. So you can use the latest AI from Google, and you've got very cheap videos showing how everything works. So even if you've got the static picture, now you can make it dynamic. So, and that's where the visual pillar sits. So it's somewhere in the middle of the user experience and the actually visual design. So where that's basically the very important part of the design. And now 2 pillars which almost similar to what product managers do. So from the analytics point of view, designers contribute a lot to the voice of customer with their research. So that's where the user experience research sits, because you take the analytics as a skill, as a group of skills, and understanding your voice of the customer is very important because it highly impacts the design thinking and the overall solution that you are building. At the same time, measuring progress and KPIs, there are a lot of methodologies like Google Heart that helps you to track your user experience and measure it. So there are different types of product metrics that also reflected in the user experience. So this skill is becoming more and more essential for the data-driven products and AI products. So where designers should learn and make data-informed decisions. And the final thing, yeah, fluency with data. So obviously analyzing data and making decisions is very important, and understanding your design decisions from the data point of view requires some fluency with data. And the final pillar, it's all about people. Finally, yeah, if we are growing in our career ladder, if we are taking more responsibilities closer to the design management, then we're starting to work more with people. But designers, they always exist somewhere in the middle of business, product, and development, like the product managers do. And the communication, storytelling, cross-functional collaboration, and overall team leadership are the essential skills for the product designers as well. So I want to make a pause here. It's not many of us on the call, guys, but do you want to add something from your end? So do you think that something important is missing here? Because that's a generic structure that we put under the product design map. But what do you think could be the additional points here that are not mentioned on this 15 product design skills map? So any thoughts from the audience, guys?
I think it's very well comprehended,
Thank you.
and as a founder, it resonates a lot with me because yeah, I think before that, each subsection in the product experience visuals, it used to be a job by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like junior level skills, I believe it's required for people who are leading the product building.
Of
And
course.
we might need the seniors to actually take it the step further. But yes, exactly, the product designer and the product manager, I would say, should show the developers the whole flow and the whole MVP vibe coded, and like with its business analysis and how it resonates with people and
Exactly.
expected results and KPIs, and they would take it from there to upgrade it. So I guess you guys get it very well, and maybe the first ones to actually get it
Thank you
because
very much. Yeah,
I
actually, there
was,
are
yeah, I
many.
was really lost for the 13 months, for the past 13 months, and yeah, let's just summarize it.
Cool, cool. Actually, there are many skill diagrams for product designers. So for the product managers, there are just two of them. One from the Ravi method created, which he created 5 or 6 years ago. Another one from Pavel Kurin, who created the simple form, Google form. But for designers, there are a lot of different skill charts, and this one we did with a shift and the paradigm change and the new AI area. So obviously a lot of things are changing. We try to adjust it slightly to the new reality, but it's almost the same skills. So the product design was always the same. A lot of CEOs, they are coming from the design world. So take Figma as an example, or Airbnb, or any other company like Steve Jobs from Apple. They've been designers. So one of the important parts is to keep the structure in your work. Obviously, there is a very important part that a lot of companies, they've got very specific product skills requirements. So it's not only about product design or product management. It's highly impacted by the product itself. So the product you are building, the industry where you're working, will change the set of skills which is required. So let's take as an example the e-commerce shop that you are building. It could be the customer facing product, but let's assume that you are building highly loaded data driven system which is designed to process I don't know, flows of AI agents. Maybe your interface will be very technical, and you don't need to sell a lot. You need to think more about technical sides of the product. So obviously when we engaged with different companies, they've got their own needs. So whatever generic skill structure you're developing, reality will show that it's slightly custom tailored for the company needs. And we never said that our skill map is the most comprehensive. No, it's not the wording that we are using. We always try to keep things generic enough but practical. And that's what we did. We compared the product management skills with product design skills. I'll try to show you the difference somehow, but it's really hard to map them. So obviously, we'll start with 5 top level skills, group of skills. So product, customer, analytics, process, and people. And here it's almost the same, but slightly different. So product, experience, visuals, analytics, and people. So where you see the difference? Obviously processes and customer. So why the difference here? Why customer is not the part of the user experience? Yes, it's there. So a customer is always there. It's part of the design thinking. It's part of the user experience research, which we put under the voice of customer here. But we put voice of customer in the group of customer because it was all about the marketing side of the product and product discovery, where you learn your customer, you understand it, and these topics are very linked with each other. So let's take 3 first skills. So strategic impact, business goals, ownership, and product discovery. And on the design side, we've got business impact, market and industry insight, and design thinking. Does it mean that designers don't do the product discovery? Obviously, no, they also do that. It's more about focuses, right? So you can extend and build a more comprehensive map which combines the product management skills and product design skills and put them all like a 30 list of skills. You can develop all of them, but it's more about the focuses, right? What you always need to keep as a main priority in your career development. A lot of things on the customer side also reflected somehow in the user interaction design, the interface design, which is user experience part of this product design skill chart. And analytics, it's also the same, almost the same group of skills, but there is a small difference here. So as a part of the system analysis or the business analysis, product managers do a lot of interaction with stakeholders. So stakeholder management is kind of gathering requirements and analyzing requirements. So it requires a lot of analytical skills. Designers also do that, but usually it's not the main priority for them. And that's how we can also differentiate product managers from the designers. And obviously, from the product management point of view, there is a strong focus on the technical side of things. Depends on the product, obviously, as I said, but designers contribute to visuals, product management contributes to processes. So software engineering, product vision and planning, backlog management, that's what usually product managers do. And in terms of visuals, as I said, motion design, content design, and branding with the graphic design, it's the main focus for the designers. And finally, people. So it's all about people. Finally, we can say that maybe it's the most important part. Maybe it's the same as other parts, but at the same time, we always do a lot of work. We always work with people. So as product managers, we do a lot of communication. So the negotiation skills are very important. Team leadership and people development. Into the product design people section, we put cross-functional leadership, team leadership, and communication and storytelling, which is also a very important part of any design. So storytelling is very important. So what we can learn from these 2 charts. So first of all, that we see the overlap between product designers and product managers. And we did the same for the product analysts. We are working on the analysis of the product marketers, and we see that the overlap between designers and product managers is the biggest overlap. We did more than 1,000 of assessments. So most about 20% of our users, they are non-PMs at all, and the demand from the design is always big. So when whatever we're launching on LinkedIn and other tools, our social media, we always receive a lot of feedback from designers. That's very important. And now when we can do prototypes quicker, the PM start solving product design tasks, because they think about the user experience, they think about the user scenario that they need to complete. And this experimentation now requires a collaboration where product managers better understand the basics of the product design. Now they can also contribute to the experience and visuals. And designers, they also all need to understand more the product management, so they can better contribute to the product and the business impact, make a business impact. So that's why we're launching the product design map. It's about to launch in the end of September. So we're just finalizing everything and preparing on all materials. If you haven't seen that, how it looks like, it's the new big map, but highly focused on the product design. So we split everything by 5 categories. So discover, define, ideate, build, and the people and processes, as always. Last but not least, we put right now 38 product design topics, collecting feedback from the different materials and sources. Everything here is aligned with the main, let's say, knowledge bases and community resources which are available for product designers. So yeah, we've got 5 categories. We put different topics here. So obviously the first section covers more the market, digital marketing, research, and need finding. And the next one more about the product side of things, analytics, testing, your user experience. And the one which we're working right now, AI use cases for product designers, is coming soon. Next, the fundamental topics for the product designers, like persona development, user flows, customer journey maps, the branding, the design principles, and UX flows, they're all here. The prototyping and design systems, that's something that helps you to speed up your product processes, and we put it here as a collection of different resources for designers. Web design, mobile design, overall software development processes, and everything which is about process and people. We're just starting to populate the content. But yeah, the overall idea of the map is similar. So we collected the different topics and put them into the different groups. One of the group is the skill grouping. So product skill, experience skills, visuals, analytics, and people. The one that we discussed with you just right now. We put here the list of topics that helps you to mature this skill and reach the higher level. But obviously, if we pick one, let's say customer journey map, inside each particular topic, we've got the set of resources. So they're all here with the different materials that helps you to explore further different concepts. So if we take one as information architecture and how it could be done, here's the list of resources that we assembled from different people and different databases. So you see here the overall idea and the list of materials that could be helpful. But the overall idea of the product map is very simple, just to provide you the navigation through the career. So it shows you the helicopter view where you can learn something new. And if you're curious to know more about design systems, it's one of the topics that is available in the product design map. You can explore the main idea and the main concepts here, as well as main resources that are available for the deeper dive. We're working on the feedback, so we just open it for everyone. We received some quality feedback in the direct messages and everywhere, but we always welcome everyone to leave comments on the map. The product management map has so many comments, and we're receiving new ones Every week we're trying to analyze what we received here. We're always updating the map. So that's what something we want to do with a product design map. And obviously the platform side is coming later. We know that the map is a cool format, very interactive, but that's just the first step for us. We will publish it, as I said, by the end of September, but the map itself is almost done. We just have a few spots left. Now I want to make a pause here, guys. Maybe you want to ask anything, maybe you want to add something from your end. Feel free to jump in, always welcome. Feel free to ask me everything or just share your thoughts. Guys?
I think that I keep talking a lot in this meeting, but I have a question from my end.
Sure,
So
Samar.
I
That's a
really
very
like the
cozy event.
differentiation.
So we are always open for discussion. So please go on.
Thank you. So I have seen the difference between you have shown between the two mind maps and how they cross section with some skills and yeah, and how they're differentiated in some sub items. But I was thinking that or actually, it's a question. Vibe coding, as you said, right now is an emerging field, and front-end designers and front-end developers are getting, their job is getting redefined. Um, and I'm not sure where does vibe coding and the happy path of going from designing or ideating a visual or how the app should work to setting this up and giving it to the AI agent, whatever tool we use, and then we get the feedback from internal team, and then we iterate into that. It's becoming the new standard for prototyping, and I think the old ways of product design might not work very, very seamlessly right now. So much
True.
expectations are put into them. So I'm not sure if this is mapped in your map or not, but if it is mapped, that's gonna be wonderful. That's gonna be groundbreaking because we're all lost there.
Yeah, true. So let's make a step back. So what is vibe coding? It's coding. It's just powered by AI. It helps you to write the code. But I'm a software engineer, so Samar, I've got the software engineering background. I've got computer vision degree, and my previous startup 6 years ago was AI startup. So we always been developing different products, and coding was always part of our life. Vibe coding is a new way of coding, but it's the same skill. So in terms of skills, what it allows you to do. So as a fundamental part, the vibe coding requires software engineering skills, because a lot of people who are vibe coding, they even don't understand what code they are reading. So I mean, what they are coding. So you need to understand and interpret what LLM did to you. So the software engineering skills becoming more and more important, and a lot of PMs with a technical background, they became very great prototypers, right? So someone who built prototypes with vibe code, because they can understand what machine did to you. So software engineering skill covers vibe coding, but at the same time, what is vibe coding in terms of the final result? It's a prototype. So we always been building prototypes, paper prototypes, interactive prototypes in Figma. Before development was so open, we've been using Bootstrap and web frameworks in order to build the tools quicker. Now, vibe coding helps you to do that, so it's a tool. But in terms of skills, it's still the same. It's the building of your product. And why do we build that? Because we want to learn from it. As a main idea of the MVP, we receive the quality feedback. We test our ideas. And where it sits in terms of skills. in the product discovery. So your ideation phase where you're starting to experiment a lot with your product, and at the same time it touches the user interface design, interaction design, user experience. Just because it's the final result of your prototype, it will have some sort of user interface. So answering your question, yes, in the product map, we've got some materials about the prototyping with AI. We've got a resource about MVP and the comparison of different tools. So not only Lovable, but the others like Replit, like v0.dev and other tools. But at the same time, it was always the same process. Now we just have an alternative way how to do that. So I would say in terms of materials and skills, it's the same requirement. The tool sets change, so now you can do it differently. But I've been coding the whole life, so actually I love coding, and vibe coding I also very like, because it's just sometimes it builds things for you quicker, but you need to understand what you're doing. So I would say software engineering still becomes a very it even becomes more important skill than previously. So a lot of product managers, they've been focused on the product marketing side of things. Now they also touch the technical side of it. So yeah, I hope it
Yeah,
answers
I
the question.
understand. I think, yeah, if you are covering prototyping and how does the flow and expectations of both roles for prototyping are, I think that's gonna make it a very good map,
True.
because so many overlappings is happening at the moment. And yes, it is a tool, as you said, but it's not a tool that everyone can use correctly right now.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are, as you said, missing some steps, or doing it the wrong way, spending lots of money in the tokens and credits, and at the end of the day, they're not even delivering quality work.
True.
So yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see that. You as a founder should understand the cost of any prototype, right? So it's resources that you're spending, time, costs. They always coming. If you're building the wrong prototype and nothing learned, no lessons learned after that, then it was a bad prototype. You didn't learn anything. All right, guys, thanks for joining today. If you want to ask anything, please, we are very welcome. So we'll stay here. Thanks for joining our pilot meetup. We did a very cozy event just because we don't want to raise a lot of attention to the first time we faced technical issues. It was a disaster, sorry for that, but yeah, we're learning also. So let's say it was our first prototype of the meetup. This week we've got another meetup with a digital product design digital product community from Germany. Great community in Dresden. They are very active. They're meeting mostly in person, but we did with them a very specific meetup and on the AI tools topic. So we'll cover their different tricks and tips. What could we use as a product managers? I personally believe that I'm product manager still, but yeah, thanks for joining.